Hi everyone. So this is Ravi again. Welcome back to my 18th YouTube session on Azure DevOps. So in this session, I'm going to cover the topic called dashboards. So I have received a lot of requests from my YouTube subscribers to explain about the dashboards and different charts and trends that we can create in the dashboards to showcase to the management. Okay, so based on their request, I'm doing this particular session. So this topic I'm going to cover in 2 YouTube sessions. So this is my first YouTube session where I'll be explaining some concepts, and I will be publishing another YouTube session shortly in a week to explain the remaining concepts. So our agenda items for today's Azure DevOps dashboard session. I'm gonna explain you about dashboards, charts, reports and widgets. And also I'm gonna show you how can we configure the dashboards for a given project in Azure DevOps. Basically, I'm gonna explain how can we create multiple dashboards for a given project in Azure DevOps. And also I'm gonna create the charts to track the work and also to see the trends of your work. And also I'm going to show you how to create different charts to track your manual testing progress and to see the results of your manual testing and to see the trends of your manual testing. I'm going to explain you about the widgets like sprint charts widgets and other chart widgets like Burndown charts, velocity charts, capacity charts, cumulative charts, and different other charts. I'm going to create you and show you how can we create all these different types of charts in a dashboard. So let me cover some theoretical part before we start creating the charts and dashboards in Azure DevOps. So about dashboards, charts, reports, and widgets. So dashboards are customizable, interactive signboards that provide real-time information. And dashboards are associated with a team or a project. So what does it mean? Basically, whenever you create a dashboard with charts, reports, and widgets, the charts and reports will be updated with the real-time information every time. So whenever you refresh, if you not refresh, the real-time information will be reflected in your charts or reports. And also you can create a dashboard corresponding to a team, or you can create a dashboard corresponding to a project. So charts are either query-based status or trend charts derived from a work item query or test results. That means we will be creating charts going forward by using query based status. That means you can use a query to create a chart. So I'm going to show you how to create. Okay, so for now you just we are going to concentrate on just theoretical part. So widgets, what do you mean by widgets? So in the dashboard we will be creating charts, reports and everything in the form of widgets. So you will have a widget catalog which provides the brief description of those widgets that are available. Widgets are also available in Azure DevOps Marketplace. So I'm going to show you how to add the widgets. And also we have in context reports. That means the system generated charts that support a specific service. Examples: team velocity, sprint down, burn down charts, cumulative flow diagrams, test failure reports. These are all actually generated by a system, and you can generate these charts in your dashboard. And these reports are displayed on the analytics tab for a specific service and derive data from analytics. Now I'm gonna walk you through the actual Azure DevOps application, and I will show you how can we create the dashboards. First of all, before we go to the application, what is configurable dashboards? With dashboards, you can configure an array of charts and widgets. That means you can add multiple charts and widgets in a given dashboard. Each team can add and configure multiple dashboards to share the information, to view the status, progress, and trends, and access quick links and other functions. And you can easily add and rearrange the widgets on the dashboard to show the recent changes made to view build status, bug trends, and more. Okay, so now let us go to Azure DevOps application and see how can we add these dashboards. So here is my Azure DevOps tenant where I have a project called e-commerce. Okay, so let me explain how can we create a dashboard or multiple dashboards for e-commerce project. Okay, so for that you will be clicking on e-commerce project, and then so if you go to dashboards, so currently I have a dashboard. So this is how the dashboard looks like. You can just glance. So I'll just explain you soon how can we create all these graphs, okay, in this session. So it is very useful session. So most of the people who are subscribed to my channel, so everyone asked me to prepare a session on these dashboards. Okay, so if you go to this navigation pane, right, and then click on browse all dashboards, so where you can see all the dashboards. But anyway, so before you create any dashboards, you will not see any dashboards here for the first time. So how to create a dashboard? You need to click on new dashboard and then enter the name of the dashboard. Let's see, YouTube session 1, board 1. Okay, and so there are two types of dashboards. One is team dashboard. That means this dashboard will be associated with a single team. Let's assume in your project you have multiple teams called testing team, development team, business analyst team, for example. So if a dashboard is assigned to a testing team, that dashboard can be visible to only testing team. If you assign the dashboard to development team, that dashboard will be visible to only development team. Okay, so for now let me select team dashboard. Okay, what is the team? I have one team called e-commerce team and development team. Let me select e-commerce team and click on create. So as soon as you click on create, your dashboard will be visible. So this is the way you can browse again all the dashboards. So if I see, I have 1, 2, 3, total 3 dashboards under a team, right? So if you want to create another dashboard, you can just click here. So this time I would like to select a development team. Okay, dev team and create. Okay, so if you see here, it has a development team. This dashboard is associated to the development team. So again, if I browse all the dashboards, I can see the development team dashboard also under dev team, right? So how can you delete the dashboard? You just need to click on this small navigation pane, more actions, delete, confirm delete. In the same way, if I want to delete a dashboard from dev team, click on delete and delete. Okay, so now hope you understand how do we create a dashboard. Okay, now as I showed you, how can you create a skeleton of dashboard? Basically, how can you add multiple dashboards for a given project? team level dashboards and project level dashboards. Okay, so now what content do we need to add in the dashboard? What are all the different charts? What are all the different trends that you want to track as a project manager, as a team lead, that you have to decide first. Okay, and then once you get the list of all the charts, trends, pivot tables that you want to showcase to the management, then you need to start building the different charts. Okay, so in building the charts, there are different types of charts. So first, let me explain the charts that you can use to track the status and trends, and you can create these types of charts by using flat list queries. So you can create various charts to monitor status, progress and trends with these query based charts. Okay, to get started with these charts, first we need to understand what is the query and how can we build a shared queries in Azure DevOps. Once you build the shared queries in the Azure DevOps, and then we have to create different charts that is required for the project. Okay, so let me show in the Azure DevOps right now how to create shared queries, and then how can we use those shared queries to create a corresponding charts. Okay, so we are in Azure DevOps application. Okay, and this is my project called e-commerce. Under e-commerce, we are in dashboards section. Okay, so now let me create queries first, shared queries, so that I can use those shared queries to build some type of charts where I can see the status and trends. Okay, so how to create the queries? Go to boards. Under boards, you will have a submenu called queries. Okay, click on these queries. And here you need to basically click on new query, or if you want to access all the queries, existing queries, you click on all. Okay, so I already built some existing queries anyway. Okay, so so now I've created a separate folder called YouTube training queries. So whatever the queries we build, we are going to store them in this particular in this particular folder. Okay, so first let me click on create new query. Okay, to create a new query, click on new query, and then first of all I want to basically build a query to see the number of bugs that are raised by the testers. Okay, so now what is my work item type? My work item type is bug. Okay, select bug. And what is the state? I want to track everything, basically either it is open, new, done, completed, whatever. Okay, so that's why I want to get the list of all the bugs that are existing in this particular project. Okay, so that means this is my query, and click on run query. So as soon as you click on run query, it is gonna basically give you all the list of bugs that are existing in the project. Now we are going to save this query. Okay, let me save the query as bugs. Okay, where do you want me to save? I want to save this under shared queries under YouTube. Everyone keep in mind, we should not store the queries in my queries if you want to use this query for the dashboard. It is mandatory to store the queries under shared queries. Okay, so let me select this as YouTube, which is under shared queries. Okay, and then click OK. So as soon as you save the query, if you go back to your shared queries again, okay, if you go back here, I can see the new query that just now we saved. I can see here. Okay, now how can I use this? Okay, before going ahead, let me also create another query. Okay, new query. I want this time get the list of all the requirements. Requirements means it's a product backlog items, and also I want to get the list of bugs as well. Okay, so that means R, I'll be selecting R, and I'm going to select again work item type is bug. That means what I'm saying, and I want to add a state okay. Let me add I think we need not to add any state actually. Okay, so that means I want to retrieve the list of all the product backlog items and bugs that are in scope for the project, right? Run query. So now if you see, I am getting all the list of bugs and product backlogs, correct? So I want to save this query now. Okay, save requirements and bugs. Okay, so let me save this. Click on OK. Right? So now we have saved both the queries. So let me go back again to YouTube training queries. If you see here, I have both the queries. Now, how can we use these two queries which we built to create charts in dashboards? Okay, so let me go back to dashboards now. Okay, so observe clearly. Okay, this is very important topic. So here I want to create charts in new dashboard called YouTube session dashboard. Okay, so now here to create any chart, first you have to click on add widget. Okay, and now because I want to actually create a chart based on the queries. Okay, for that, let's say I want to create a chart for work items. Okay, so I'll be selecting chart for work items and click on add. As soon as you click on add, this widget will be added to your dashboard. Okay, so let me click on add. See, the widget is added to dashboard. Now, how can you configure this widget? You need to click on gear icon. As soon as you click on gear icon, it will show you the right side the configuration window. So you can adjust the height and width. If you see, I made it as 3, the width got increased. If I increase the 3, so width of the widget got increased. Basically, you can adjust the width of the widget by selecting width and height. Okay, and here if you see, I have an option called query. So I want to, if you see here, the queries whatever that is being shown here are only shared queries, but not the private queries. Okay, so expand these shared queries. I can see there are 2 queries. So just now we created 2 queries here. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, so let me just first select bugs. I want to create a chart to see the defect status. That means how many defects are new, how many defects are in approved status, how many defects are in done status, etc. Right? So for that, I'll be selecting bugs and I want to create, let's assume, a column chart. Okay, so what is the chart type I want to create? You can select even pie chart, column chart, whatever. So let me select column chart for now and group by state. I want to group by state. And okay, so let me change the color of this. You can change the color of each bar also. You can customize the bar color. Okay, so now if you see here and click on save and click on done editing. Okay, so if you see here, I can see there are 6 bugs that are in done state. There is one bug which is in new state, and there is one bug which is in approved state for testing team to start testing and development team to start testing. Okay, so this is how you can create. If you want to edit, let's assume I want to create this particular chart in a pie model, basically pie chart. Okay, for that I want to modify this. How? You click on edit button on the dashboard, and then again you have to click on gear icon for the widget. Okay, so as soon as click, so let me change this to pie chart. So as soon as I change pie chart and save it, you will have your pie chart. Okay, see, done, how many done, how many new, how many approved. Okay, done. So now let's assume I want to create another graph where I want to show the work items. Basically, how many work items are there totally in my project, and these work items are distributed to what are all the resources. Basically, how many resources are available in our project, and the distribution of the work is proper or not. Okay, so for that I have to add another graph where it will show the resource name and the work items that are assigned to the resource name. Okay, again, if I want to add a new widget, as I said earlier, click on edit, and then again you have to select the widget type that you want to add. So this is your widget pane. Okay, basically the type of widgets that you want to add. So you will have lot on list, very big list. If you want to add other widgets, you can do it from marketplace as well. Okay, so now again I want to add a chart for work items. Okay, click on add, and again click on gear icon. So now this time I want to select a query, the second query that we built. Okay, what is the second query? The second query is requirement and bugs. Okay, and I want to create a bar chart here this time, but now this time I want to group by resource. Okay, that means assigned to. Okay, and let me change these colors, okay, little bit, okay, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, and click on save and click on done. If you see here, I can see Ravikant has been assigned with 6 work items. Shrikant has been assigned with 4 work items. Sudharani has been assigned with 4 work items, but there is one work item which is not assigned, right? So this is how you can track your work assigned to the resources. You can track the resource load. Okay, now I want to create another chart where I want to see the status of each work item, right? So how many work items are there in our project, and what is the progress of those work items? Are we progressing or not? Okay, how can we do that again? You go to same chart for work items, click on add, and click on your gear icon. This time again I want to select a query that we have created, the second query, requirements and bugs. Now I want to select a group by a state. Okay, and I want to show this in a column chart. Okay, and then let me change the color of these. So default colors, yes, you can keep default colors, but I want to change the color so that it will be easily visible. Okay, click on save and click on done editing. If you see here, so currently I have these many requirements, out of which 8 requirements are done, and there are 3 requirements that are in new state. That means we have not yet started any work, and there are 2 work items that are committed. That means we are committed to start working on those work items. Approved. So that means these 2 work items are approved for further action items, right? For further action, right? So this is how you can create the charts based on the queries that you built, based on the shared queries that you built. Hope you understand the query based charts. Hope you all understand the concepts, whatever I covered till now. So I'll be covering the remaining concepts in YouTube session 2. Hope you all had a great time. So please subscribe to my channel. If you have any queries, don't forget to send your comments in the comment box. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome back to my 19th YouTube session on Azure DevOps. So in my previous session, I was discussing about the dashboards that are existing in Azure DevOps. Basically, I was showing you how can we create the dashboards or multiple dashboards for a given project. Okay, so as part of that particular session, I have covered the agenda items, how explaining the dashboards, charts, reports, and widgets. And also I have shown you how can we configure multiple dashboards for a given project. And also I was explaining this agenda item to track, basically to build the charts to track the status and trends by using shared queries. If you remember, we have created some shared queries. Let me show you what are the shared queries that we created in earlier session. So we have created some shared queries like, let me go back here. So we created all the shared queries here. Okay, we created shared query bugs and requirements and bugs, and then we have created the widgets or the charts by using those shared queries. Okay, so in this session I want to basically cover some more topics related to the shared queries. Okay, so let me show you. So by using shared queries, we can also create a widget called a query tile. How? So as earlier I explained you, to add a new chart to the dashboard, you just need to click on edit button, and then here I want to show you another feature where you can create the tile. Okay, basically by using the shared query. Okay, so if you are not able to find, so if you see here, there is an option called query tile. Okay, you just need to select that particular option and click on add. Okay, as soon as you click on add, you can see that there is a query tile that has been generated. Okay, so now you have to click on gear icon of that particular widget. Now I want to select a query, which is I want to show on the dashboard how many bugs are associated to this project. For example, okay, you just selected the query bugs which we created in the earlier session and click on save. Okay, and click on done editing. So now this particular number of bugs that are associated to project will be updated automatically whenever you raise a new bug. Basically it's a live data that will be shown in the dashboards. And also I want to create another query tile. So if you want to, you can just use the search criteria as well. Okay, I want to create another query tile to show how many total work items are existing in the current project. Okay, you see here again I have click on added, and then I can see a new query tile has been added. Now I need to configure by clicking on gear icon. Okay, and then you have to select the query that you want to use. I want to use this query basically, which shows all the work items including bugs. Okay, means the requirements including bugs, and click on save. So now currently the project has a total work items of 15 including bugs that needs to be delivered, right? So this way you can use the query, flat queries, to build the charts. Okay, so hopefully you all understand the concept of using flat shared queries to build the status charts and trend charts. Okay, so now, so let me go to the next agenda item. So our next agenda item is how to create charts to track the manual testing progress, results, and trends. Okay, so the steps to create charts that track manual testing progress and results are similar to those for tracking work. What does it mean? The starting point begins with the test plan rather than a query. So when I was explaining you to track the work, right, we have used the flat list queries. But here to track the manual testing progress, we'll be using test plan instead of queries. Okay. For example, you can find out how many test cases are ready to run, or you can find out by using these charts how many tests are passed, how many test cases are failed for each suite. So these kind of metrics you can derive by using test plans. Okay. So let me walk through in Azure DevOps to show you how can we create different charts from test plans. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how can we create different charts, okay, in Azure DevOps corresponding to your manual testing progress. Okay, so there are two ways to show the results. One is you can add the charts in your dashboards, or you can add the charts in test plan module itself. First of all, before we create the charts for testing progress, let me show you how does my test plan look like. Okay, so if I go to test plans, I have created a regression suite. Okay, basically a requirement based suite. Okay, multiple requirement based suites means this particular one is the requirement called 122, add description of work item and click enter. So this is one requirement. Under this requirement, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 test cases. And this is my second requirement. I have 2 test cases. This is my third requirement. I have 2 test cases. So like that, I have couple of requirements for which I have derived the test cases. And also, I have executed some of the test cases corresponding to each requirement. You can see here the outcome pass, fail, right? Pass, fail and all. Okay. So now we want to track the progress of my test execution of these test cases corresponding to these requirements. Okay. How can we do that? Okay. So let me go back to dashboards now. Okay. So in the dashboards, so let us go back to our dashboard, whatever we created in the earlier session. Okay. So now I want to track my testing progress in the dashboard so that our management can easily understand the progress from the dashboard itself instead of going to the test plans. Okay. So now to add a widget, as usual, we'll be clicking on edit, and this time we have to select the chart for test plans. Okay, so I'm clicking on this chart for test plan and click on add. So as soon as you click on add, a new widget will be added, and you have to configure that particular test plan widget by clicking on gear icon. Okay, so you can probably name this. Okay, I want to track the status of the test cases. That means status of test cases. That means how many test cases are ready for me to execute, how many test cases are not ready for me to execute. That means how many test cases are ready and how many test cases are still in design phase. Okay, so for that I have renamed the chart name as status of the test cases, and I want to keep the width and height as it is. And now I have to select the test plan. So this test plan is corresponding to sprint 1. Okay, so that's the reason I'm selecting the sprint 1, and then you need to select the test suite. So I want to actually track all the test cases corresponding to this entire test suite. So that's why I'm selecting the parent test suite. Okay, and now what chart I want to form? I want to form a chart which says the status of the test case, not the test results. So that's why you'll be selecting test cases, and then I want to form a column chart. Okay, and here I want to group them by state of the test case. Okay, so that's why I'm going to select state as a group by option. Okay, and then you just need to click on save. So if you see, so click on done editing. If you see, I can see here the status of test cases are, so 9 test cases are ready, but there are 3 test cases that are still in design phase. So this is how the management can know how many test cases are ready for execution, how many test cases are still in design phase. Okay. So let me add another graph. Okay. So now I want to track the test results. How many test cases are passed, how many test cases are failed. Okay. And how many test cases are blocked, how many test cases are not run. Okay. Basically in not run status. For that, again, I'll be selecting chart for test plans, click on add, and now click on gear icon to configure the widget. Okay. Status, basically test results status. Okay. So I want to increase the width basically to 3. Let me increase it. Okay. Now again select the test plan. Okay. This is print one test plan, and select the suite. I want to track all the test cases basically corresponding to all the requirements. Okay. So, and then now this time, because I want to track the test results, you have to select the test results option, and I want to show it in column graph. Okay. So select the column graph and then group by outcome. Basically I want to group the test cases, test results by outcome, and then click on save. If you see here, and then click on done editing. If you see here, so the test results status, I can see there are 6 test cases that are in status called not run. There are 5 test cases which are passed, and there is 1 test case which is failed. Okay. So this is how you can create a result status. So I want to show the result status in different way. Let me show you another way. So very useful way. This time again I am selecting chart for test plans, click on add, now configure this gear icon. Using gear icon I want to increase the width. Okay. And now, so this time again I am going to select the test plan as usual, and the test suite, entire test suite, and test results. So the very good chart type I want to select is a pivot table, which will give you very nice idea of each requirement and status of the requirement. Okay. It's a kind of requirement traceability matrix. Okay. Click on pivot table this time. Okay. Now I want to group the rows with a suite. Okay. I want to group the column with outcome. Okay. Which will give you very nice tracking traceability matrix. If you see here, the requirement called this one. Okay. The requirement 44, requirement 43, requirement 42. So if you see here, the requirement called regression testing has total test cases 5 passed, 1 failed, and total test cases are 6. And for this requirement, there are total 2 test cases, nothing is executed. And for this requirement, there are total 2 test cases, nothing is executed. For this requirement, there are total 2 test cases, nothing is executed. So this is how you can track your test case results. Okay. So now let me show you how can you track the test case status resource wise. That means for each resource, how many test cases are being executed, how many test cases are being failed by the resource, how many test cases are being passed by the resource. Okay. Resource wise count. How? Again, click on edit and go to chart for test plans, click on add, and which will add a new widget. Click on your gear icon. Again, I want to basically increase the width by 3. Okay. Now select the test plan again and select your test suite and select test results. So this time I want to basically select a bar chart. Okay. And I want to group this by using the assigned to. I want to group by using tester basically. And then I want to show, so give me a minute guys, test results. Sorry, let me group the outcome. And then, okay, 1 minute, we are missing something here. Okay, bar chart, group by outcome, and then count of tests. Instead of count of tests, let me quickly, something is gone wrong. Hide test cases. Okay, test results. And then, okay, so let me fix this one. Okay, so here you have to select the bar chart, I think. Okay, cancel. So what you need to do is, we have to select this time. So this time you have to select the pivot table. Okay, so once you select the pivot table, what we are doing now, resource wise count we are capturing. Okay, so I want to basically select a row with a resource, means tester. Okay, tester. And what is my column? Column is outcome. That means, and then click on save. If you see this particular graph here, okay, chart, so this is your resource name Ravikant, and he has not executed 6 test cases, and he has executed 5 test cases which are passed, and he has executed 1 test case which is failed, and this is his total 12 test cases he executed. So it will give you, if I have a multiple team members here, it will give you even the multiple team members test result status. Okay, so this is how you can track your test case status. Okay, so this is how you can track the test case status or test plans progress and test suite progress. Okay, hope you all understand the concept of this one. Okay, so let me go back to the next agenda item. Okay, so our next agenda item is how to create other different charts. Okay, like sprint burndown chart. How can you create sprint overview chart? How can you create your sprint capacity chart? How to create team velocity cumulative charts? How can you create cumulative flow diagrams? How to create build history charts? So all these different sorts of charts I'm going to show you in Azure DevOps. Okay, first let me create a burndown chart, a sprint burndown chart. Okay, so because the sprint burndown chart is very important in agile methodology. Okay, so we already created all these charts by using earlier session as well as in this session. Okay, so now, so there are 2 ways to add a sprint burndown charts, so that you can add directly from your dashboard by searching as burndown. Okay, so by using this particular widget, or you can add from your sprints. Okay, let me show you how to add from the sprints. Okay, if you go to boards and click on sprints, so once you click on sprints, you will have a task board, right? So here you have a different tabs called backlog, capacity, analytics, right? So click on analytics. So in the analytics, you will have a burndown trend has been selected. So let's assume I want to see the burndown trend of the tasks that are associated to your each backlog. That means for each requirement, we will be deriving the tasks, right? So I want to see what is my burndown chart of my remaining work. Okay, so if you see here, this system, basically the application itself, automatically generates this burndown chart. What it will show, what is my remaining work and what is my actual existing capacity of the resources. So if you see, so on this date, my remaining work is 170 hours, but the remaining capacity is 245 hours, right? That means I can take more work. And if I come here, the remaining hours, basically the remaining work is 60 and remaining capacity is 220. So this is how I can really track the burn down chart on daily basis. Okay, it's a cumulative burn down chart. So now how can I add this burn down chart to dashboard? So here, if you click on more actions, copy dashboard, now you have to select this particular dashboard. Basically, you want to copy this burn down trend to which dashboard? So as we are using dashboard called YouTube session dashboard, I would like to select YouTube session dashboard and click OK. So that means now this burn down trend has been moved to added to dashboard. Okay, let me go back to dashboards again. This is our YouTube session dashboard. If I go down, see my burn down chart has been added to dashboard, right? So it will take just a couple of seconds to load entire burn down chart. Okay, so this is my sprint burn down chart. Okay, now let me explain how can we add sprint overview chart. Okay, so click on edit and go just type sprint. Okay, here this is my sprint overview chart. Okay, click on add and click done editing. So these are all system generated charts. Okay, so here what do you mean by sprint overview chart? Basically my sprint is up to 15th May, and that means I have 5 days remaining, 15 days are over, and I have 11 work items that are not started, 16 work items are completed, okay, 3 are in progress. Basically, so if you click on this, right, it will directly take you to the work items that are associated to the sprint. Okay, so this is how you can see the sprint overview. Okay, now if I want to see the sprint capacity chart, okay, again click sprint. Basically there is a widget called sprint capacity. Click on add, okay, and done editing. So what does it shows? What is my sprint effort? 100 of 120 hours. That means I have a work of 100 with the capacity what available in the resource is 122 hours. That means the capacity is more than work allocated, right? So this is how you can track your sprint capacity on daily basis, and it is showing, okay, total 5 backlogs that are not started yet. Okay, and then how can I add the velocity chart? Okay, velocity. Okay, velocity. So this is my velocity chart. Okay, click on add. Okay, as soon as you click on add, the velocity chart will be added. Okay, it will take a couple of seconds to load. Okay, click on done editing. What do you mean by velocity? Basically, how many work items are planned for this sprint, and how many work items are completed, and how many work items are completed late, and how many work items are in incomplete state. Okay, so basically you can track the velocity of your work, how fast you completed the work, you completed on time or late, and what is the planned work items, right? And now let me explain the cumulative flow diagrams. Okay, so click on this cumulative and click on add. So as soon as you click on add, the cumulative diagram will be loaded on dashboard. Okay, so let me explain what is this. Okay, click on done. So basically you can even configure this cumulative diagram. Okay, so if I see here, if you click on gear icon, I am tracking the cumulative. That means on so and so date, how many work items are done, how many work items are committed, how many work items are approved. Next day, 4th May, basically for every day you can track. Okay, So let me change the start date. Okay, let's assume I want to change the start date as because my sprint is starting at April 20. I think this is fine. Okay, click on save. Okay, so basically this cumulative diagram shows what, how many items are completed, how many items are committed, how many items are approved. Basically how many work items are done on so and so date. So on 4th May, how many work items are in done state, how many work items are in committed state, how many work items are in approved state. On 9th May, how many work items are done state, committed state, approved state. So it shows the cumulative work items in progress on as on so and so date. Okay, hope you all understand. So if you see here, so we have added lot of charts. Okay, different types of charts. Okay, so I will be explaining more charts whenever I have some time, but for now I'll be ending this session. Okay, so we have added different types of charts in dashboard. So this is the way you can track your progress, you can track your testing progress, you can track your work item progress, you can have a tiles on the dashboards. So this is the way you can create really very colorful dashboard in Azure DevOps, and it is very easy. And if you want to basically rearrange your graphs, whatever you created, right, you click on edit and just drag and drop here. See here, the graphs are moving. You just need to move. You have to arrange the graphs whatever the sequence you want. Okay, and click on done editing. So it's very easy to build different types of charts and tiles in Azure DevOps, and very user friendly. Hope you all understand the concept of dashboards in Azure DevOps, which is very important for our management, how to report these dashboards to the management so that management will get to know the entire project health, right? So if you have any queries, please provide your comments in the comment box, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's session, I'm going to teach you about creating burn down charts and burn up charts in Azure DevOps. I'm going to show you some examples in creating different types of burn down charts and different types of burn up charts in Azure DevOps. I'm also gonna explain you the each burn up chart and each burn down chart in detail so that you can understand what does each chart represents. My agenda for this session is to teach you how to create requirement or user story burn down charts, and I'm going to explain you the chart in detail. And also I'm going to teach you how to create bug burn down charts, and I'm going to explain in detail about the chart. In the same way, I'm going to explain you how to create task burn down chart and what is the chart represents. And I'm going to show you how to create task burn up charts, and I'll explain you what does it represents. And also I'm going to show you how to create test case burn up charts, and I'm going to explain you what does the chart represents. Okay, so let me take you through the Azure DevOps actual application and show you the examples for the agenda items. First, our agenda item is how to create requirement and user story burn down charts. Okay, let me go back to my Azure DevOps tenant. Under this, I have a project called e-commerce. Okay, I would like to create dashboards for the work whatever I'm performing as part of this particular project, right? So I would like to track the progress on daily basis, and I want to show the project progress to the higher management. For that purpose, we'll be creating dashboards, right? So under dashboards, currently it is empty for me. Okay. First agenda item is to create requirement user story Burndown chart. Okay. For that, you just need to click on add a widget, and here at the right pane under search widgets, you can find a Burndown chart here. Okay, it's a template. Click on that and click on add. As soon as you click on add, your default Burndown will be added, but you need to modify this Burndown chart. To modify, you have to click on configure, and then here I'm going to rename this as user story Burndown, because I'm creating a Burndown chart for user stories. Okay, and I would like to keep the width and height as it is, and here I would like to select the work item type as a user story. Okay, as soon as I select a work item type as user story, and I would like to add an additional criteria. What is that additional criteria? I would like to add the iteration path, because I'm creating this particular chart for a project. Under project, I'm trying to track the progress of one particular release or one particular iteration. Okay, so that's why I'm selecting iteration path. Iteration path, nothing but it's a release also. Okay, in terms of Azure. And iteration path. So what iteration path or what release I would like to capture? I would like to capture the Burndown chart for release 1. Okay, so as soon as you select the release 1, and now what I'm doing, I'm actually creating a Burndown chart for the count of work items. That means how many user stories are present as part of release 1 and how many user stories are completed against the how many user stories are in scope. Basically, how many user stories are in scope and how many user stories are remaining. Okay, so I'm selecting count of work items. What work items? User story that I have selected here, work item type, right? And now I have to select the date range that I would like to show, right? So let me select the date range here. I would like to show probably July 15th till August end, for example. Okay, it's okay. And then here I would like to show the completed work also. Okay, I would like to show the completed work, and I would like to plot this remaining work using work item type color. So user story, generally the work item type user story is colored as blue color in Azure DevOps. Okay, so that's why as soon as I click here, the user story has been added, but the bars will be shown in blue color only. But for task, again, it will be different. For task, it will be yellow color. Okay, so as soon as you select that, click on save button. Okay, and then you click on done editing. Okay, so now we have created a Burndown chart for user story. Okay, what does this Burndown chart represents? So this Burndown chart represent how many total user stories that are identified as scope in release 1. Correct? The release whatever we have selected. And then it is also gonna show you on daily basis. So let's assume on 20th of August, I have total user stories 3 and the completed user stories 0. And the Burndown, basically the Burndown is still 3, right? And then total scope is 3. Okay, let's assume if you have moved one user story as complete in next day. Okay, what happens? It's gonna show you user story as, so give me a minute. So this represents, if the graph represents that the number of user stories, as I said, it represents total number of user stories on a given day, and how many are completed and how many were in total scope. Okay, so let me open, because whatever the graph I'm showing here, because I did not progressed much on the user stories, you're not able to see the actual trend. Okay, let me show you how does the trend looks like. Okay, in real time, in the real time projects, if you follow the graph creation whatever I explained you, so the graph looks like this. Okay, so if you see here, the first initial 4 days, I can see that there is one user story that has been completed, and you see around more than 17, probably around 17 user stories are open, right? So after that, once we start test case execution, slowly I can see that the number of pending requirements are coming down slowly, right? If you see day by day it is coming down, and the number of completed requirements. So the green color represents the completed requirements. The blue color represents the remaining requirements. If you see, the blue color is coming down and the green color is increasing. That means you are completing more and more requirements on day by day. Okay, that's how you can understand the chart. Okay, so now what is our next agenda item? The next agenda item is how to create a bug burn down chart. So for that, we need to again click on edit here, and then you will find the burn down chart here, template, and click on add. So as soon as you click on add, it's going to add a default chart which we need to configure. Okay, for that you need to click on configure, and then first you have to rename your chart. Okay, what chart I am creating here? I'm creating a bug burn down chart, right? Bug burn down. Let me do one thing. Let me create a task burn down. Okay, let me show you. So I want to create a task burn down, which is third agenda item. Okay, task burn down chart. Okay, I would like to keep the width and height same, and here work item type, this time, earlier we selected user story, but this time you have to select the task. Okay, what is our work item type? Task. So as soon as you select task, and then you need to add an additional criteria so that you can filter out. Basically what you are doing here, I am making sure that the work items are from my release 1. Okay, iteration path in Azure DevOps represents a release. Okay, and I'm selecting the iteration path as release 1. And now here, because I want to show the completed task as well, and also I want to plot the remaining work using work item type color. That means, what is the work item type we have selected here? We have selected a task. Okay, so as soon as I click on this, it turns into yellow color, because I am tracking the task bundle and I am representing the color with the same work item color. So task work item color is yellow. Okay, it turned into yellow, and click on save. Oh, before I click on save, let me select the date range. So I want to select from July. So let's assume my release is from July to 30th of August. Okay, and click on save and click on done. So now, because I have added tasks only today, I could see that around 11 tasks are added. But one more thing I forgot. Actually, here it is showing number of items. No, but we have to, but the burn down chart in generally, the main burn down chart that we need to follow in Azure DevOps is based on the remaining hours. Okay, for that what I need to do, instead of count, I have to select sum of remaining work. Okay, sum of remaining work. So basically, how many hours are pending for the task that you are derived for each requirement. Okay, click on save and click on done. Let me show you again. Okay, so if you go to sprints here, okay, if you go to sprints, for each requirement I have task derived. For this requirement, I have to design test case, execute test case, analyze test requirement. Design test case for this requirement, again design, execute, analyze. So this is how I have around 77 hours of the task that I need to perform, and multiple people has to perform, right? So that's what we are tracking here. So if you see here, total 77 hours that it's showing, remaining work is 7 hours. So when you go to sprints also, you can see that the remaining work total is 77 hours, correct? So now let's assume tomorrow I'll burn down some. That means burning down means what? Let's assume if I complete some of the tasks, if I move to closed tomorrow, whatever the hours I burn down, right? So that's gonna show in the graph. Okay, tomorrow it will come down like this. Day after tomorrow again it comes down like this. So it's gonna basically follow your burn down chart. Okay, let me show you, because this particular release is not yet progressed, you're not able to see the chart. Okay, let me show you how does your burn down chart looks like. Okay, so if you see here, not this one, let me go back. In real time, this is how that particular chart, whatever the chart we created, that is correct, but only thing is we don't have the corresponding data. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look like. From the beginning of the day, slowly the task will start burning down, right? By end of your release, the remaining tasks should be 0. The remaining work hour should be 0. Okay, so this is how your burn down chart looks like. Okay, so now let me see what is our next agenda item. Our next agenda item is bug burn down. Okay, how to create bug burn down? Click on edit and then again click on burn down, click on add. So here again you need to click on configure, and here I'm going to rename this as bug and then click on save. And then here, what work item type I need to select? I need to select the work item type as bug. Okay, and then I want to track a number of bugs that are being completed. It's not the hours. So that's why I'm selecting count of work items. That means I want to count the bugs that are burned down, okay, on daily basis. And again, I'm going to select the date range as mid of the July till end of the August. Okay, and then show completed work, plot remaining work using work item type color. Okay, click on done. Because bug work item type color is a red color, that's why it's gonna show you the red color. Okay, let me just again show you here. Okay, plot remaining work using work item type color. Because the work item type is bug here, it is showing red color. Okay, close now and click on done. So currently I have total 2 defects, that's why it is showing 2. Let's assume tomorrow I'll close 1. Then what happens? This particular burn down will comes down. So let me show you in real time how does the bug burn down shows. Okay, so this is how you can see the bug burn down. At the beginning I have around 18 defects, right? Slowly the defects got increased little bit, and then the development team started fixing it and testing team tested and closed the defects. So as soon as the testing team closes the defects, slowly the remaining bugs will come down. And what about green color? This is completed bug. Basically, whatever the bugs that were closed. Okay. The number of bugs closed keeps on increases. The number of bugs that are open keeps on decreases. Okay. So this is how you can see the bug burn down chart. Okay. And now, what is our next agenda item? The next agenda item is task burnup chart and test case burnup chart. How can I create a burnup chart for task? Okay. For that, you need to click on edit. So this time I'm going to select burnup, click on add, and then again you need to click on configure so that I can change the parameters. Okay. Here my task burnup. This is not burned down. This is a burnup chart. Okay. And select your task here. Let me select the task. Okay. And then count I'm keeping as work items, and then do like this. Okay. Basically show remaining work and complete. Click on save. So what I'm doing is the burnup means how many. Let me show you in real time how does this burnup chart looks like. Okay. So if you see here, the burnup chart means what is your tasks, number of tasks that are getting completed versus remaining. If you see here, at the beginning, a blue color represents remaining tasks. This represents completed tasks. So as I progress towards the end of the release, the number of completed charts are increasing, but the remaining, which is in blue color, the remaining tasks are coming down. Total tasks, okay, my total scope is 41 items. Out of 41 items, slowly the remaining tasks which are in blue color, it is showing me 18. Okay. And completed, it is showing around 31 or 40 around, right? So this is how you see the task burnup chart. Okay. Task burnup means your task completion is burning up and your remaining work is burning down. Okay. So that's your task burnup chart. What is another one? The last agenda item is test case burnup chart. Okay. So let me show you. We don't have a straightforward method to create a test case burnup chart, but for that there is another way. So you have to go to test plans, right? So let's assume my release is this one, test plan. The test plans for release one is this one, right? And now select your parent test plan folder and then click on chart. See, under parent test plan folder, I have a lot of test cases. Okay. Some of the test cases. Okay. I already authored. And now click on chart, click on new and click on test case chart. So once you click on test case chart, take stacked area chart type. And then here stack by, you need to stack the test cases by state. Okay, I think that is it. And then I want to show last 7 days of the progress. That's okay. And click on OK. And then how can you take this chart to your dashboard? How? You click on these more options and then click on add to dashboard and select the dashboard that you want to add. Okay. I want to add this particular chart to e-commerce team and click OK. And now if you go back to dashboards again, you can see this burnup chart, test case burnup chart. So what is this test case burnup chart? First of all, let me just again show, increase the size. Okay. I want to increase the width as 7, 3 and this one as 3. width as 4, height as 3, and save it. So what does this represent? So basically this represent, this represents on daily basis. On daily basis, how many test cases I am designing. If you see here on 12th of December, 12th of August, I have 0 design test cases. And the next day I designed 3 test cases, and the next day I designed same 3 test cases. That means I did not progress anything. And next day the test cases got increased 10. So if you come down here, so my total test cases are 10. Out of 10, today some of the test cases got ready. That means out of 10, 6 test cases changed to ready state and 4 test cases are still in design state. So basically it shows you the authoring burnup, test case design burnup, and then it shows the burnup of your test cases that are getting ready. Okay, design means the test cases are in still design phase. Okay, ready means the review is finished, now the test cases are ready to execute. Okay, so this way it is gonna show you on daily basis how many test cases are getting designed and how many test cases are converting to ready. Okay, so this is with the way you can capture your test case burnup charts. Okay, hope you all understand all the graphs whatever we created, especially the burn down charts and the burnup charts whatever we created till now. Okay, so now I think we have completed our total agenda items, right? Okay, so if you have any questions, probably you can post your questions in the below comments section. Okay, please do subscribe to my channel and click on bell icon so that you will get notifications whenever I post a new videos. For sure, I'm gonna post lot of videos on Azure DevOps concepts and also the latest technologies in the market. Thank you.